Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to from wherever you're watching. This is Neil from Netflix Football, and tonight is a very good night considering the fact that Rafael Varane has agreed to join Manchester United. Both the clubs found an agreement. Probably the here we go from Fabrizio Romano is out, just pending official confirmation. How excited are you as a Premier League fan, as a Manchester United fan? Man, I'm escalated. Now I'm waiting for 14th of August for Leeds United versus Manchester United. The Roses derby would be fought on with the likes of Sancho and Varane in the first 11. How exciting is that? Starting off tonight's show in Monday Night Football episode 2, we are going to round up the football action in the weekend, and since it is transfer season, we are going to round up the transfer season with the hot topic rumors, and it has been dominated by Manchester United. How happy can you get? Absolutely excited. Hardik is saying super excited. Kemal is here, is saying hi, welcome to the stream. I hope you are all fine and good, and I've taken your second dose of vaccines. That goes without saying. Of course, that goes without saying. So Rafael Varane, interesting news that in the transfer podcast that I did on last Thursday, I said that the Rafael Varane deal has been agreed, potentially agreed, just was pending official confirmation because of the fact that my insider sources have told me, and they have not got it wrong, especially with Sancho and all the media works, right, that goes on between them. We saw that this, that, Sancho hype, this, that, Sancho hype, and repeat. And finally, I told you that this week's going to be decisive. I did not have any idea that the leaks would be getting in through. Probably you can expect an official confirmation by around the midweek or probably latest by Friday. It's going to be confirmed this week. The Here We Go is out, and that's super in its own sense. Also, Rafael Varane, the main thing in the Rafael Varane deal was John Martau. And as Fabrizio Romano quoted, that Rafael Varane wants to join Manchester United because of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because of a new experience he wants in the Premier League, and he wants to try out new avenues. He's been respectful to Real Madrid till the last minute. He went up for training. He'll probably do a couple of sessions more until it is officially announced and his medical is scheduled. Now, this is a centre back that that everybody wants. He's 28 years old, just turned 28. Same age as POGBA. He's immense. Literally, he's immense. I know people are pointing out stats that he has had four errors leading to goal since 2016-17. But he has bloody 4 Champions League and a World Cup. Like, put some respect into that name. Put some bloody respect into that name. Whenever you are linked with Manchester United, pages, sources come up with all these clowning stats which never have this heard or seen before. It's new revelations every time a player is linked with Manchester United. How bad they are. Like literally, that means we're getting a good deal. We're getting, like Ben White, because of his English tax, is costing £50 million. Rafael Varane, including add-ons, is costing around £43 million. That is by far a steal of a deal. Absolutely magnanimous. The reason that the deal was a bit scuppered from last week is probably because Jules Koundé, whom you will hear breaking very soon to Real Madrid. Very soon. You'll hear them on the news. The rumblings have been on. Sevilla have just been as far as I've heard from my sources, they put out a rumor that Manchester United want to sign Koundé as well. That's absolute horse shit. Absolute crap. They just want to put pressure on Real Madrid, especially with the leaks that Fabrizio Romano. I think that deal has been agreed. Basically, the two things were hampering the deal for Varane. Number one is amortization payments. For those of you who don't know what amortization payments is, in simpler terms, it's just breaking up the payment over the length of the deal. Real Madrid did it first with Gareth Bale, 6-year contract. They paid the 100 million in 6 installments. In 6 installments to Tottenham. That is how they conducted the deal. That is amortization payments. After that, Sancho, the deal we had 75 million, 73 million of something of that sort. 5 seasons, 50 million each. So effectively, we have just spent 50 million this season. It's brilliant business considering the fact that we have been cheated in a lot of deals. We have been pulled through the rafters in a lot of deals, especially the work that John Murto and the outgoing Ed Woodward is doing. You have my respect, man. You have my absolute respect. If you're new to the channel, do hit the like and the subscribe button. Of course, if you want to donate, you can do so. No preference, but man, I'm excited. I'm absolutely pumped up what happens with Varane. The other side of the coin is Paul Pogba, that Mino Raiola is pumping. The PNC came up with a banner like, Paul Pogba, stay where you are. We don't love you. And Manchester United, Paul, we do definitely love you. We do care about you. But we don't care about that shitbag of an agent of yours. Bloody get rid of him. But one more fact, which I already mentioned in the last video, is that Mino Raiola has been overly quiet. You don't expect this type of quiet from a certain Mino Raiola who's known to put shit in the media just because he feels like it. He knows that the Manchester United place is at stake. Nobody is going to pay Paul Pogba more than 250. Even 250k a week is huge considering the fact in La Liga there's 50% tax. So you have to have 500, 550, something like that of a contract, which is very difficult considering the fact that they are stacked on midfielders number 1 and number 2. He's 28, going to be 29 next season. With the salary cap that's been coming in, La Liga is almost impossible. Juventus, they are in financial troubles of their own. PSG, they have Verratti, they have Marquinhos, who loves to play as a CDM. Probably with Ramos signing, he can move there over freely as well. Other than that, Idris Agana, Gay, Danilo Pereira, lot of options. Have I mentioned Verratti? Marco Verratti also. Wijnaldum being signed there. Wijnaldum, top bucks they paid for Wijnaldum to sign him. Don't think they'll leave him on the bench. Yes, you make room for Paul Pogba, but at how much cost? And how much efficiency is that going to get you? If you don't play a defensive midfielder alongside Paul Pogba, how do you manage? They'll get torn apart in big games. Especially you cannot leave out Verratti, who's been there since a long time for PSG and is an amazing player. Saw that in the Euros, how he controls the tempo of the game. Wijnaldum being brought in. Wijnaldum and Verratti, wonderful pairing. Especially if they want to play a back three, which I'm being told with Ramos, Kimpembe and Marquinhos. Out for a left wing back. They signed Hakimi. They don't want to play Hakimi as a right back. Mind you, they signed Hakimi for 70 million just to play him on a right wing back, so that Neymar and Mbappe can play up top. No striker additions this term. It's just Neymar and Mbappe. If Mbappe wants the central striking spot, it's his. It's his. That's their way of convincing him to stay, if that works. Otherwise, I think, okay, fake accent lag raha hai. I'm not gonna smash the like button, guys. Thank you so much. Absolutely amazing that you all are joining in. Don't stop with the hate comments. Come on, develop this thing. If you don't want to comment stuff which is related to the show. If you want to hate monger, don't do that. Otherwise than that, moving on from the Rafael Varane deal, is next we're going to talk about, is up on your screens as you can see, Kieran Trippier and Eduardo Camavinga. Eduardo Camavinga is in the last year of his contract. 20, 25, 30 million prices have been mooted. Real Madrid are interested, but he's not going to get a starting spot over Toni Kroos or Fede Valverde or Casemiro or Luka Modric. Just not there, the space. PSG, as I already told you, they're stacked on options. Chelsea don't want a midfielder. That's why they are not going for Declan Rice, which we'll cover about Declan Rice towards the next topics. The only avenue of a top footballing club that needs a snatcher, that needs a natural contest player to play beside Paul Pogba, is Manchester United. Arsenal have the team sorted. Less about Arsenal, the better. But truly, I am a fan of Arsenal. I'm a fan of Dennis Bergkamp, Robin Van Persie. Salt to your wounds, but Arsenal, like, it was between Arsenal and Manchester United what I chose. Then I fell in love with Ruud van Nistelrooy so many years back, and I have decent respect for Arsenal. I banter them, they accept that. They banter me, I accept that. But absolute respect for that club. I so much respect that club. No shit takings. Absolutely trying hard to be in the market. They have the financial problems. Signed Ben White. People are trolling about prices, but Ben White is a top centre half. He is a top centre half. And he'll absolutely suit with the style of play for Arsenal. Definitely. Someone, where is the option of Neves in next DM? I did not do that. People would have hate mongered. Would love to hear your thoughts on Arsenal transfer window. I've been saying just that. And congratulations to Sotik, of course. The company I've been working in, he won the top analyst for that. So big shout out to Sotik if you're watching. Absolutely well deserved. You have competition on your hands next term. Because I see myself there on the podium. You can very well make sure of it. And I have lovely teachers in the form of you to guide me over there. Of course. Arsenal, they've given Emil Smith Rowe the number 10. They've given him the contract so they are entrusting. Like Adnan Januzaj, he's on probably a higher contract than he'd anticipated. He's going to start in that central number 10 spot behind Aubameyang or Lacazette, whoever ends up staying. I think it's Aubameyang. Especially the fact Nicola Pepe is being mooted for the number 9 jersey. I think Lacazette is on his way. Gabriel Martinelli, the all-cost start at the left wing, and a smashing player. Would love to see him. Gabriel Martinelli on that. Future of Van de Beek, coming to that. Now, every team, you remember Man City, right? Whenever someone says about Van de Beek, he's not being utilized, he's being wasted at Manchester United, sack for sign. Man City signed Ilkay Gundogan in 2015 or 16 after a Champions League final, like man of the match performance from Gundogan, and he just made his proper appearance. That too when Kevin De Bruyne was injured and they sold David Silva 4 years later. It took him 4 years to establish himself and he's still happy. You know what that does? Similar player of Van de Beek who loves to pass and move. Is very good at the enganche role just behind the striker. That's his best position of a Dennis Bergkamp, who is his trainer and whose daughter he is dating. You don't shit where you meet, but that doesn't apply. Van de Beek is almost definitely staying. He's an option. He's a tactical option that will help break low blocks, especially now that we have had a proper functioning right bloody winger. You'll see so many spaces, like deep blocks in Manchester United look so worse because there's so much left center. Defense squeezed up and towards the left, towards the right to contain our left. Now when there is Sancho who can dribble, who can go past, who can play make, can do 3 things expected from a winger. So much space that will be popping out in between defenses. Expect Van de Beek to have a big part. Expect Van de Beek to be having a big part role in this season, and he'll gradually build his way through. 60 games a season, not warranted for any player. If you want to challenge on all fronts, we saw how it affected us versus Leicester. Saw it affected us in the FA Cup semi-final last term against Chelsea. We are battered. Liverpool, the match, we played 3-4 matches in a week. We're battered 4-1 by Liverpool, who in that podcast, Liverpool fans were like, we're going to get a thrashing the way Manchester United are. Just the opposite happened. The more the merrier. Other than that, Kieran Trippier is a deal. It's a bit complicated because Diego Dalot, United like Diego Dalot, of what I've been told, but he is someone who wants first team football, which he won't get with Aaron Wan-Bissaka in the team. Also, the fact that Diego Dalot is the best time to move him on to get the transfer, the resale value that we want from him. 25 million is the price that we have mooted. Fair price in this market. And as the days goes by, his contract would reduce and he has to contain himself, and it'll hurt his development. United want to loan him, but want some fee, at least 5 million of the loan fee, so that and an obligation to buy next term for around 20-22 million, so that they can invest the same on Kieran Trippier. Kieran Trippier and Alex Telles would be the two fullbacks who will provide the attacking flair, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw would be strengthening the defense. Although Luke Shaw has been smashing it on the attacking prospects, but Alex Telles and especially Kieran Trippier, we've seen United can play a back 3 with Alex Telles and with Kieran Trippier. They cannot play a back 3 with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He's so much exposed as a back, as a right wing back. What Kieran Trippier can do, can hold his width, can come back, provide the killer crosses for the likes of Edinson Cavani. Especially a substitute move, what we ran out of options, it's just increasing on options. Van de Beek in against tired legs, Kieran Trippier and Edinson Cavani in the tired defense after we harried them with Jadon Sancho, Martial, Bruno and Rashford. But Martial, people forget that he scored 25 goals when he plays through the centre. He had to move down to the left wing to accommodate Cavani. I don't think Cavani will play more than 60 matches a season, more than 60% of the games this season, including substitute and first team appearances. Other than that, I think this is a team which is on the course of very well sorted. Okay, next one. Let's have the next one. Next one is the deal about Ruben Neves. Everybody is concerned about how Ruben Neves and his future. He is a smart buy. People forget that Ruben Neves linked with Arsenal as well for 35 million. He wants to leave because of Nuno Espirito Santo going to Tottenham. And you understand that he has had his plaudits with Wolves, wants to take on the next challenge. Be a smashing player to play alongside NDD and behind Tielemans, considering Maddison is looking for a move away from Leicester. Ruben Neves is a very good defensive midfielder who has lots of qualities in his armour. Like when Wolves were playing in the Championship, he was playing as a sole defensive midfielder when they played 4 at the back. Then they signed Adama Traore, they went 5 at the back and played Adama Traore as a right wing back. And then that was the partnership of a double pivot between João Moutinho and Ruben Neves. That's when he started to play as a box-to-box. That does not mean he cannot play as a defensive midfielder. I know he's not a destroyer, but his statistics as a ball winner is far from poor. It's much better than what we have and is top ranking in the Premier League. At 35 million, he's a bargain. It's just 24. Of course, he is a bargain. Ruben Neves was absolutely makes sense on all fronts. On all fronts. If he is mooted in a deal to Manchester United, if we cannot get the likes of Declan Rice or NDD, I think that's far-fetched, or Eduardo Camavinga, which I think will be the next signing, considering also rumors being there that Matic is going to make way. So Fred, McTominay and the new midfield signing would be our partners. Declan Rice is the next name which I want to talk about just for the fact that he's rejected 3 contract offers on the bounce. Bloody on the bounce, he's rejected 3 contract offers from West Ham, each higher than the other. Especially one, as I'm told, guaranteeing him a captainship role. How much more can it get? How much more desperate do they want to give up hold of Declan Rice? 3 contract renewals being rejected, the transfer fee booms down from 100 million directly to like 60-65 million. He has 2 years left on his contract. 2 or 3 years, I'm not sure about that. Jesse Lingard is the one they want. They don't want to pay 30 million because they think Lingard's overpriced, but they are setting 100 million price tag for Declan Rice. Like, big brain stuff, David Moyes. Then again, we do have a statue about him from Liverpool, but then again, other than that, Declan Rice wants to move to Manchester United more than what Manchester United want Declan Rice. He's built up an amazing camaraderie with Luke Shaw, as we saw in their Instagram posts. And he'll do the job. He is more of a ball carry, so smooth on the ball, much more like Michael Carrick, but we need someone like a prime Nemanja Matic. Tall, strong, who knows how to win the ball. Declan Rice is an orchestrator, he's not an anchor man, he's not a defensive mid, he's not a destroyer as a Casemiro or a Fabinho. Do all the pretty stuff, but lunging into tackles, committing dirty fouls just to stop hold of the ball. You need these kind of things, especially how you see Pep Guardiola with his miniature fouls all over the pitch, stopping the progress. You need all these kind of things, the dark arts in football to be in there, to win in the Premier League, which is a brawl at times. He had a fantastic performance, but I think the likes of Calvin Phillips, when he supported the likes of Calvin Phillips and in West Ham with the likes of Thomas Soucek, he's much more able to play his own game, which is as a ball distributor. We have ball players like Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes in the midfield. It's what bringing in Declan Rice will probably be an upgrade over McTominay, but the same problems will happen. There will be much spaces left vacant between the defense and the midfield. That's what we do not want. That's what I do not want. Although if you can get Declan Rice, we can mold him like Real Madrid molded Xabi Alonso into a defensive midfielder, then went on to Bayern Munich. I think it's possible. But since United are on one challenge for silverware, they want probably high potential players nearing their prime. Declan Rice is far from his prime. He's still developing. Probably 2-3 years more. Probably Leon Goretzka, who's been mooted next term. I'd be happy with McTominay, who's had a fantastic Euros this term. Definitely. He's had a fantastic Euros. With the players comes pressure on the manager. Absolutely, Shuman. Absolutely. McTominay has a fantastic Euros. I think he'll settle quite well. It's a make or break season for him if he wants to have his share of plaudits in the season. Other than that, I don't think Declan Rice would be fit in this system what Ole wants to do, but definitely an upgrade over, especially Fred does the dirty work. Especially when he's supported with the likes of McTominay. He gets a lot of possession, wins back a lot of possession that goes under the radar. He misses passes, ton. tons of missed passes, but he gets the job done, doesn't he? Other than that, in other transfer market news, this has been the headline that Luis Alberto, former Liverpool player, of course, I'll tell you why I said that, is on the verge of joining AC Milan. He's not reported to training. He has gone on a strike, but what Varane didn't do, mad respect for him. Luis Alberto looks to join the AC Milan side and gain the number 10 jersey, vacated by Hakan Çalhanoğlu, and play in that spot. So Sandro Tonali, Luis Alberto would be a very good pairing with Franck Kessie from behind. Absolutely would be a very good midfield for the future and for the immediate term as well. And with that rumor, especially with that rumor, comes linked that Xherdan Shaqiri has publicly said he wants to go to the Serie A, wants to play for Lazio, and wants to play in that Luis Alberto role, number 10 role that he's most favored for. For Basel, for Inter Milan, for Bayern Munich, for Stoke City, he's reveled in that number 10 in behind. And he'll suit very well. He's got some balling left in him and absolutely fit very well. Rice will be a good fit. I don't think so, but I want to be proved wrong. I like Rice. It's not that I don't like Rice, but it's that he's not the natural destroyer. He's not that natural destroyer like an Ndidi, whom I think would be bang on in this team. Declan Rice is more silky on the ball, it's more talents. But we have Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes to do that. We don't need another deep-lying playmaker to pass the balls. Just need an average passer with exceptional ball-winning qualities and pace. Like Conte, I don't think Declan Rice will run all over the pitch high pressing. We need an upgrade over Fred, and Eduardo Camavinga does that. Ruben Neves not quite as much, but more than Declan Rice. More than you can imagine. See his stats. That'll be enough. That'll be enough to convince you that Ruben Neves is in ahead than Declan Rice. Declan Rice is a smashing player, but probably at the likes of Chelsea alongside Conte, he'd be a different beast because he needs someone. We saw how good he was with Calvin Phillips in England, with Thomas Souček at West Ham. Remove these players and put two attacking midfielders with what United want. With Pogba and Bruno side to side. I think Declan Rice would struggle over there because of his lack of athleticism, not the lack of talent. That's what brings me towards here. Galatasaray is linked with Spurs. Yes, Spurs signed Bryan Gill from like 25 million plus 25 million in the form of Eric Lamela. That is a deal that has gone through. Fabrizio Romano has. Galatasaray has very good Euros, like they want to replace Toby Alderweireld. They are looking for Jules Koundé, like Nuno Espirito Santo is not content enough with Davinson Sanchez, who had a very high ceiling when he featured against us in the Europa League final. Since then, he has gone down the pecking order again and again. You see Vertonghen and Alderweireld being shuffled over and over again. Eric Dyer being tried out in defense time and again. Julian Foyt, of course, with the signing from Swansea. I forgot the name. If anyone can remind me in the comments, the player that they signed from Swansea. They have signed a lot of centre-backs, Tottenham Hotspur. But other than that, that hasn't been very much overwhelming because of that. And not many other news. If you want some other news, do hit me on the comments. Do hit the like and the subscribe button. Do share this channel with your folks. Would be interesting to see how the Premier League unfolds, especially with the likes of Rafael Varane coming into Manchester United. United have suddenly saw how John Stones became from a subpar player to an extraordinary player with Ruben Dias, and how Ruben Dias was one of the Premier League player of the season. And without each other, they looked so much vacant. John Stones had Harry Maguire, who has had numerous plaudits for his performances, ranging from Gary Lineker to other people. From what he's been labelled off, you saw an instant difference what Harry Maguire gives you in that England team. And probably with what happened with Victor Lindelof, I'll tell you this, is that both of them are same players. They go for the same balls. That's why there's a lot of space left in behind for a wide range of gaps that Aaron Wan-Bissaka was sucked in, and didn't use that. We've conceded a lot of crucial goals from the opposition's left wing towards our right. With Varane, what Maguire can do is he couldn't do with Lindelof is that Lindelof was the prime ball carrier or the ball player. Maguire did it very less than what we saw him do for Leicester, time and again driving up the pitch. With Varane will sit back with the pace. United can play a high line, definitely can play a high line with Varane. His height, his ball playing abilities, his strength, second to none in probably You can say Virgil van Dijk, of course. I'll be lying to myself if I don't put Virgil van Dijk up top. Probably what Mats Hummels and Jerome Boateng had a partnership for Germany. And they were unstoppable at that point of time for Bayern Munich as well. Maguire being in Hummels' role, he can his exceptional ball playing qualities, move up the pitch, maintain that overload in midfield, and Varane will just sit back, will probably a defensive midfielder just lying in the between channels. But what Maguire will take the place when he moves forward. Exciting times if you're a United fan and a Premier League fan. Okay, Joe Rodon, absolutely. Joe Rodon is the player that they signed. NDD greater than any player linked in that role. Absolutely, that's what I've been saying, man. NDD is the best player. It's the destroyer that United need. We do not need a flashy passer. We do not need any like out of the Hollywood passes like a Paul Scholes or something like that. But you need a destroyer so that you can unleash Paul Pogba and Bruno together. Don't have to play a pair of Scott McTominay and Fred. A player who does the same thing and moves in football-esque quotes. Like, although they have their plaudits and they have their fair share, they will have their fair share of games. You need someone like absolutely spot on Michael Peralta, someone of like a Brooklyn Nine-Nine fan, I'm guessing. Think that is the proper answer. Because the manager is not good enough, United needs almost 11 players to succeed. I disagree with that. This is a season that will answer that. So Oliver Skip is back at Spurs from his loan spell. Spurs already sold Toby, so they need good centre-back. Toby Alderweireld has been sold? I have no clue, man. Maybe I'm mistaken. Oliver Skip has been touted as one of the up-and-coming players in the English ranks. So he'll have a very, very good prospect chance under Nuno Espirito Santo. Loves to promote you, by the way. How the hell United are buying so many players? Because of amortization costs. Then there is Juventus who can't buy even Locatelli, even when the player wants to join there, they don't have even 40 million. Syria doesn't get the fair share of revenue. They did not go deep into the Champions League. They don't have any revenue. They're paying Cristiano Ronaldo around 30 million a year. They have not won anything. They've just scraped on fourth. Where are they going to get the finances from? They're paying Aaron Ramsey 400k a week. They're paying Adrian Rabiot 350k a week. Where are they going to get the finances from? They had a lot of stupid decisions in buying both Aaron Ramsey and Adrian Rabiot on a free transfer, but humongous wages that they are suffering from now because no team wants to take any of them. Aaron Ramsey's crossed 30. Adrian Rabiot, we saw how the debacle and the fiasco in the Euros. He's a troublemaker and another Mino Raiola client. As far away from him as possible. Jesse Lingard might end up staying since Marcus Rashford is scheduled to have a meeting about his surgery. I think the best option for him is the surgery. No two ways about that. Think he'll have his surgery. Think he will be the better player. Like we saw how important he was on the right wing. One of Rashford's main strength was the dodge, the shoulder dodge. And he could not do that because he could not move his shoulder, right shoulder. So he could not just go outside what he was mainly accustomed for. The shoulder dribbles, the dodges more than the dribbles. He's upped his footwork, he's upped his playmaking skills in the between. And when he gets the fully light shoulder so that I can wriggle his body, trust me, Marcus Rashford will be a beast in the Premier League. He scored over 20 goals in both of the seasons with injury. That's the main thing. And you'd understand how that affects, right? I understand how important that is. Because Marcus Rashford is the face of Manchester United. He's definitely the face of Manchester United, and you'd understand his value. Tell something about Donny Malen signing. Donny Malen, former Arsenal player, former Arsenal Academy prospect. Fantastic season with PSV. He is a type of player, he is the modern day forward. Like, rather than wing forwards, I like to state them as SS, support strikers. They can play in a variety of positions, but not as a centre forward, as a traditional number 9. He'll just roam in those pockets with tremendous explosive pace, decent finishing, decent free kick stats. Probably a faster version of Memphis Depay, but I'm sure with going to Dortmund, he'll have a wonderful prospect. Wonderful prospect. Especially, I'll give him another insider news since you've been all patient. Jude Bellingham is the next transfer target in probably the next 4 years or 5 years when we decide eventually to move on Paul Pogba. So Eduardo Camavinga and Bruno Fernandes over there, maybe the likes of Hannibal Mejbri can take over, especially with Jude Bellingham, the likes of Rashford, Sancho, Greenwood, all still being there. Dean Henderson still being there, Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka still being there. It's impressive. Is Malen going to replace Sancho, or Dortmund will sign anyone to replace Sancho? Daniel Malen is the perfect replacement for Jadon Sancho. Identical player. Good on close spaces, very good in creating space as well as making space. That's a difference. Creating and making space is different. What Sancho does, you can read my Sancho thread on Twitter. I've explained that how Sancho excels in creating and making space and how that will help us in retaining that ideal structure of breaking these blocks. That is essential. And Donny Malen, probably around 2-3 seasons, you'll see the likes of top class teams after him. No questions about that. He's a top talent. Probably I would have said Donny Malen back to Arsenal, but I have high hopes for Gabriel Martinelli. Definitely. Probably Nicolas Pepe, they've invested heavily so much of Nicolas Pepe that they're not willing to let go of him. They're still willing to try him on. Willian as well, like Partey as well, 50-50, all Partey, Ben White, Maddison for 50, like the figures that have been mooted. Difficult stuff. Of course, I think that brings us to the end of the show over here. I think you've all enjoyed it. Rafa Varane is back. I'll end the poll and I'll give a new one to you guys. Will Mbappe come to Real Madrid this season? I doubt it. I absolutely doubt it. Real Madrid don't have the funds. Especially, they need to clear a lot of salary issues because you cannot have Casemiro playing at around 100-120k a week and you just cannot offer Mbappe 400k a week, which Paris are likely going to offer. That's the problem. Probably as the transfer fee as well. Real Madrid don't have anything probably to spend at this moment of time more than 50 or 80 million or maybe 100 million with the United fee that's been going to them. I'll leave a poll for you guys to answer. Like, I'll just typing it. Should Arsenal buy James Maddison? Especially after signing Emil Smith, who back and the 10. I'll leave that. Do answer the votes. With that, I think this is time for your host. I've been specially Blade. I'm grateful to you guys for tuning in. As well as not a commentator tonight, but your host Neil, covering all the topics. Tomorrow it's Indian Football Transfer Tuesday, so do tune in at the same time, 10:30 p.m. because I have late work till around 10 p.m. in the evening, IST Indian Standard Time. Rafa Varane is still beating my hearts into all acres and spaces. Excellent signing. We'll see you all tomorrow, 10:30 p.m. Do keep tuning in. Do hit the subscribe button. And if you want to donate, you can do so with the number underneath until Super Chat is unlocked. I know you want to support me. And I know all the haters that have been chasing and you guys have been telling me that do your work. The success will follow. And reaching out to you guys is the step one of success for me. Progress, then success. Foundation, progress, then success. Something Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has never mentioned. With that note, I'll be ending that show. Pleasure to host all of you. We'll be seeing you very, very soon tomorrow. Keep liking, keep sharing, keep subscribing. Have a very good night. This is Neil for Netflix Football, waving you a goodbye. Rafa Bola!